Nobody ever prepares you for the first time a patient looks you directly in the face and says, "Am I dying?" I've been doing this 35 years and I've had that question come up thousands of times now, but I'll never forget the first time. And I was quite young, and this young gal who was a single mom, and she was 33 years old. She had a really bad cancer. Her entire eye socket had been removed due to cancer. She had lots of metastases throughout her body, especially her lungs. And of course, single mom, didn't want to die. Her parents were very involved and they were very committed to her not dying as well. Rightly so. They were in their 70s and they didn't want to have to take care of a 3-year-old. And so there just wasn't a lot of easy discussion. I wasn't experienced. So she started to crash. Her lungs started to fill up with fluid, and she was entering her dying process pretty quickly. In fact, the grandparents called the oncologist to say, "What can we do?" And the oncologist came and was present for this entire process. And they're like, can't we do a tap? What else can you do?" And the oncologist was beautiful and said, we can't tap. There's too many pockets of fluid and it's not going to help. And she was getting more short of breath. The situation was escalating. And I remember her looking right at me and saying, "Am I dying?" And I said, "Yeah. And I think you're dying soon. I think you have hours left." And I actually didn't know I had that depth in me, but my instinct was this imperative to be honest in that moment. She had her information and she looked for her mom, and her mom said, "Yes, we will take care of your child." And she's like, "Okay." And she died probably an hour later. And it was a deeply moving moment, and I learned so much in that place of people have to have this information. These days, I've told thousands of people that they're dying, but I say it in softer terms, usually in the way of, I think your time is short. And if I have a sense, whether it's hours, days, or weeks, I say that, always knowing that it's a guess. And in this situation, she died. They brought the little 3-year-old in, and I took the 3-year-old out to the garden, and we gathered a bunch of rose petals, and we had dressed her and bathed her, and she had this beautiful glittery eye patch we had on her, and the little girl and I just covered her in rose petals. And I think about those grandparents. Life isn't fair, life isn't easy, having to raise this 3-year-old, but they committed to showing up for her. So one of my lessons learned as a hospice nurse, to always be honest.